Hey guys, it's Chloe, and today I am here with a brand new video. So yes, today I am here with my 2017 summer bookshelf tour. Let me give you a nice overview of the shelves from what you can see. So yes, every year in the July-August area I do a bookshelf tour, an updated one to keep you guys updated. I have done this every year since 2013 or 2014, and I almost forgot to do it this year, but here we are with a bookshelf tour. So I don't know how long this is gonna take because I got a lot of shelves, I got a lot of books, so yeah. Highly recommend grabbing a drink and a snack to watch this video, or even speeding it up because I speed up videos all the time that are super long. A couple quick things before we get started. First of all, and I have mentioned this in videos before, books where they have sticky tabs on the spines are books that I have not read yet. My rough organization process is by genre. Some of them aren't by genre, like I have a full Cassie Clare shelf, I have an almost full Jennifer L. Armentrout shelf, but most of it is by genre, and then on the shelf itself it's by height. So genre and then height. That's just the rough organization to let you guys know before we get started. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I am a little sick, so I apologize for sounding like a man, but we are starting with this top shelf, and all of these are contemporaries. So let's do this. Struck by Lightning, the Carson Phillips Journal by Chris Colfer. My True Love Gave to Me, edited by Stephanie Perkins. Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan. 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. My Heart and Other Black Holes by Jasmine Warga. Dumplin' by Julie Murphy. 100 Sideways Miles by Andrew Smith. Love and Other Unknown Variables by Shannon Lee Alexander. Me Before You and After You by Jojo Moyes. 7 Ways We Lie by Riley Redgate. The Distance Between Lost and Found and How It Feels to Fly by Catherine Holmes. With Malice by Eileen Cook. The Romantics by Lena Conan. Words in Deep Blue by Kath Crowley. Don't Call Me Baby by Gwendolyn Heasley. Side Effects May Vary by Julie Murphy. The Distance Between Us, On the Fence, The Fill-In Boyfriend, and By Your Side by Casey West. Next shelf, as you can tell, this is mostly Sarah J. Maas with a couple things that are not Sarah J. Maas on it. Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, and The Assassin's Blade, all by Sarah J. Maas. Then we have A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, and A Court of Wings and Ruin, also by Sarah J. Maas. Red Queen, Glass Sword, and King's Cage by Victoria Aveyard. Then Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth, and a signed Carve the Mark sampler. And a UK edition of Queen of Shadows. This shelf is a little weird right now. It's basically all fantasy, and then up here, which is where we're going to start, is my TBR for an upcoming readathon. South University Season 1 by Candy Steiner. Pieces of the Heart Authors for Autism Anthology. The Heart of the Deep by Carrie L. Wells. The Pocket Watch by Cece Giltinan. And Mouse Volume 2 by Art Spiegelman. Now into the actual books that belong on this shelf. Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, Hollow City, Library of Souls, and Tales of the Peculiar by Ransom Riggs. Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. Beautiful Creatures, Beautiful Darkness, Beautiful Chaos, Beautiful Redemption, Dangerous Creatures, and Dangerous Deception, all by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. Okay, this angle is a little weird because now I have to hold the camera, and I'm going to try my best not to make it shaky. Yes, I'm aware how dusty my shelves are, I'm just lazy. So this shelf is for indie books that I have read. I have 3 different shelves of indie books, and these are just the ones that I've read. And then I have my Inkwood Books mug and a little shell with a heart on it. Defined by Others by MCV Egan. The Vampires Next Door by L. Class. Fucking Awkward Anthology. True Blue, Royal Blue, and True Blue Forever by Joyce Scarborough. Stupid Hearts by Kristen Hope Mazzola. Rough and Tumble by Kristen Hope Mazzola. And Crashing the Wedding by Kristen Hope Mazzola. Ink by Melanie Karsak. Shadow of a Girl by Shannon Greenland. And it fell. Voices of the Soul by Renee Folsom. Wolf Tales with a Twist by Renee Folsom. Taunt by Julie Valenti. The Beast Prince by S.E. Smith.
and Fangirls Nikki by Robbie Cox. And now we're at the bottom shelf of the first case. Again, I know it's dusty. These books I'm not going to pull out because it's at the bottom and I'm already having to hold the camera and it's a weird angle. So I'm just going to tell you the titles. Fallen Up by Taboo of the Black Eyed Peas, Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, Mirror Mirror by Gregory Maguire, Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister by Gregory Maguire, Outlander by Diana Gabaldon, 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades Darker, and 50 Shades Free by E.L. James, The Lord of the Rings, all 3 bind-up book by J.R.R. Tolkien, The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, The Silmarillion by J.R.R. Tolkien, and an audiobook of The Geek's Guide to Dating by Eric Smith. And now we are at the top shelf. This shelf on the left side is books that I want to get to ASAP, and on the right side are books that I have completed in the current month, and I just add the books until I film my TBR, or my wrap-up, sorry. London Calling by Chelsea B, Crashing Back Down by Kristen Hope Mazzola, and The Hysterics by Kristen Hope Mazzola. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the original screenplay. This is just a library book, but Bad Romance by Heather Demetrios, and Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. This second shelf is also a mix. On the far left are the 2 traveling books that I have sent out in the past. In the middle are library books that I currently have checked out and need to read. And on the right are a combination of YouTuber books and comedian books and a couple of randoms. So I'm not going to pull them out, but the 2 traveling books I have are Sweep Book of Shadows and The Hunger Games. Also just not going to talk about the library books that I have right now because they're not mine, they're just here temporarily. But these books are mine, so I will talk about those. The Fangirl's Guide to the Galaxy, a handbook for girl geeks by Sam Maggs. Fangirls Rule the World, and this is a chapter sampler of both of Sam Maggs' books. Soul Surfer by Bethany Hamilton. Seriously, I'm Kidding, and the Funny Thing Is by Ellen DeGeneres. I Hate My Selfie, and It Gets Worse by Shane Dawson. 101 Things That Piss Me Off by Rachel Ballinger. Self-Help by Miranda Sings. This shelf is a little bit of a mix. It's a combination of Jennifer L. Armentrout and historical fiction. I'm going to start with these 3 books that I have up here. These are books that I'm using currently for promotions, a giveaway, and then one I got as part of a promotion, but I just haven't moved it to where it needs to be yet. This is actually not mine. I'm borrowing it from my grandma as part of a promotion. And it is The Bridge of Deaths by MCV Egan, The Monster Upstairs by L. Class, and then a second copy of London Calling by Chelsea B as part of a giveaway. We're going to start with all the Jennifer L. Armentrout books, and there's a lot of them because I've met her twice, so I do have a lot of her books. We have The Problem with Forever, and then we have a signed sampler. White Hot Kiss and Stone Cold Touch in the old covers. And then we have White Hot Kiss, Stone Cold Touch, and the final book, Every Last Breath, in the new covers. Then I have Lux Beginnings, Lux Consequences, and Lux Opposition. Then we have Oblivion, The Struggle, and Wicked by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Here we just have my Nook, which is kind of like a divider on the shelf. Then I have this small historical fiction section. The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys. Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys, and Wonderstruck by Brian Selznick. This shelf is also kind of random as well. The bulk is fantasy. Actually, I think all of it is fantasy, except for one dystopian. We have Sweep volumes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 by Kate Tiernan. Ruby Red and Sapphire Blue by Kirsten Gear. The Kiss of Deception and the Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson, The Maze Runner by James Dashner, and Trial by Fire and Firewalker by Josephine Angelini. Then there's The Lightning Thief, The Sea of Monsters, The Titan's Curse, The Battle of the Labyrinth, and The Last Olympian by Rick Riordan, and The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan. And we are back at the bottom again. This is a shelf of classics and some children's books. I'm not going to pull them out because I'm holding the camera again. But on the very end, the Spiral Bound book is a book of sign language. Then we have a Disney Princess collection. Right next to that, with the very skinny spine, we have Heather Has Two Mommies. Then we have a Treasury of Children's Literature, The Cat in the Hat, a Complete Works of William Shakespeare, The Poe Reader, The Wishing Well, Alice in Wonderland, The Great Gatsby, Winnie the Pooh, No Fear Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet. Then in the stack we have another copy of Romeo and Juliet. Going down we have Hamlet, Les Mis, Pride and Prejudice, The Scarlet Letter, and Anna Karenina. In the very end we have a Webster's Thesaurus and a Clear and Simple Thesaurus Dictionary. Okay, so this is the top of the third case. We are at a bit of a weird angle because this is at a corner, but we're gonna roll with it. I had this little unicorn ducky that was given to me by author Kristen Hope Mazzola. Oh, I forgot to mention that this is all contemporary. The Inside of Out by Jen Marie Thorne. To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. A Totally Awkward Love Story by Tom Ellen and Lucy Evisin. Alex and Eliza by Melissa de la Cruz. This is kind of like a contemporary historical. My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brodie Ashton, and Jody Meadows. Again, also a contemporary historical. Beast by Bree Spangler. Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. 2 copies of Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson, but I'm only going to pull out one. Broken Hearts, Fences, and Other Things to Mend by Katie Finn, aka Morgan Matson. Guitar Girl by Sarah Manning. Kindred Spirits by Rainbow Rowell. Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. And Landline by Rainbow Rowell. Alright, so this shelf is all retelling books. And as you can see, more than half of this shelf is Marissa Meyer. So let's get started. A Whole New World by Liz Braswell. Stealing Snow by Danielle Page. The Shadow Queen and the Wish Granter by C.J. Redwine. Cinder, Scarlet, Cress, Winter. Second copy of Winter. Fairest, Stars Above. A second copy of Stars Above. Wires and Nerve, Volume 1. Heartless. A second copy of Heartless. All by Marissa Meyer. And Because You Love to Hate Me, edited by Anne-Marie. And can you guess who's in this one too? Marissa Meyer. This is my second shelf full of retellings, because I just love retellings. The Isle of the Lost by Melissa de la Cruz. Splintered and Ensnared by A.G. Howard. The Looking Glass Wars, Seeing Red, and Arch Enemy by Frank Bador. Sisters Red by Jackson Pierce. Disney After Dark and Disney at Dawn by Ridley Pearson. Enchanted and Hero by Alethea Contis. Mermaid by Carolyn Turgeon. The Wishing Spell, The Enchantress Returns, A Grim Warning, Beyond the Kingdoms, and An Author's Odyssey by Chris Colfer. Red's Untold Tale and Regina Rising by Wendy Tolliver. Shadow of the Queen and Out of the Past. So this shelf is kind of like, I didn't have a spot for these specifically. There's some fantasy in here. Actually, I think it's all fantasy. There's some magical realism. I think there's dystopian in here too. But this is kind of just like, I didn't really have a spot for it, so this is where it ended up. The Host by Stephanie Meyer. The Whispers of the Fallen by J.D. Netto. Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld. Delirium by Lauren Oliver. Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver. Of Poseidon by Anna Banks. The Goddess Test by Amy Carter. Alive by Scott Sigler. Jacoby by William Ritter. Gracelane by Kristen Kishore. And The Bodies We Wear by Jen Roberts. Under the Never Sky, Through the Ever Night, and Into the Still Blue by Veronica Rossi. The Iron King and the Iron Queen by Julie Kagawa. So the bottom of the third case. Now I'm to the point of where I'm holding the camera, and I really want to pull out each of these books and show you guys the cover, because this is one of my indie shelves, and I love promoting indie books on my channel, but unfortunately I am at a complicated angle to where I cannot pull out the books even though I really want to. This is the second indie shelf that I have. These are all indie books that I have purchased. So let's do this. Actually, that's not true. I think a couple I was given to by a friend. Others I've won in a giveaway, but most of these I've been purchased. or I've purchased. Virtual Arcana by Karen Amanda Hooper. The Elite of the Week by Precarious Yates. Finding Angel, Seeking Unseen, and Legacy Rewound by Kat Heckenbach. Aquasynthesis and Aquasynthesis Again, those are both anthologies. Snow White Lies by Sarah J. Pepper. Push the Envelope and Sucked Into Love by Rochelle Page. Honesty by Seth King. You Never Know, Sometimes You Know. What the Hell Do I Know by Melinda Harris. First Love by Kathy Jo Reinhardt. Fighting the Dark by Cassidy Carter. Embracing Emma by Leanne Lunsford. Best Served Cold by Todra Candle. Sunflower Touches by Cheryl Oblin. Magic by Mira Monroe. Dealing with the Devil by Jennifer Sidaway. Kinda Sort of by Kate Luke and Rachel Rosette. One More Chapter by K.S. Thomas. Remember When by Hope Welsh. 25 Years Later by M.W. Lee. Clam Jam by R.C. Bolt. And Symmetry by Joyce Scarborough. Okay, and now we are at the top of the fourth case. This is also all contemporary. This Star Won't Go Out by Esther Earle. 2 copies of The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Paper Towns by John Green. Looking for Alaska by John Green. And An Abundance of Catherines by John Green. Just Listen by Sarah Dessen. This Lullaby by Sarah Dessen. Someone Like You by Sarah Dessen. The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen. That's my computer in the background. That Summer by Sarah Dessen. If I Stay and Where She Went by Gail Foreman. The Duff by Cody Keplinger. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. A Little Something Different by Sandy Hall. Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow. Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour. The Disenchantments by Nina LaCour. Joyride by Anna Banks. It's Kind of a Funny Story by Ned Vizzini. Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl by Jesse Andrews. Naomi and Eli's No Kiss List by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan. Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan. Having to do this at a slightly weird angle because we are in a corner, but this is completely Cassandra Clare because I own nearly 2 copies of all of the Mortal Instruments. So this pile right here, I'm not going to take out just because it's hard, and I have a second copy of nearly every book over here. Actually, I do have a second copy of every book in the Mortal Instruments in paperback, with the exception of Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy. The Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, and Maureen Johnson. City of Bones, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, City of Heavenly Fire, The Bane Chronicles again, and Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. Then we have Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess, City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, City of Heavenly Fire, Lady Midnight, and This Empty Spot is Where Lord of Shadows will go. All by Cassandra Clare. Legend, Prodigy, and Champion by Marie Lu. The Murder Complex and the Death Code by Lindsay Cummings. The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. Divergent, Insurgent, Allegiant, For a Divergent Collection, and then We Can Be Mended by Veronica Roth. The Program, The Treatment, The Remedy, and The Epidemic by Suzanne Young, I'm sorry. So as you can see, this shelf is empty, and that's because I don't know what to put on it yet. I recently unhauled a lot of books, so I have more space. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do with this one. Bottom of the fourth shelf. Again, I'm holding the camera, and these are indie books, and I really want to pull them out to show you guys the cover, but unfortunately, it's already hard enough to film this. So yes, this is my last indie shelf. These are indie books that I have been given either for review or because they heard that I have a channel and I talk about books that they wanted me to read their book. And most of these are from Indie Book Fest. I'm still working my way through them slowly but surely. Letting Go by A.L. Autry. Dust, Before and After by S.E. Smith. Voyage of the Defiance by S.E. Smith. The Ghost in the Curve by Violet Howe. Diary of a Single Wedding Planner by Violet Howe. Shamrocks and Secrets by Case Popania. Symphony of Night by Julie Morgan. Dark Hope by H.D. Smith. Dangerous Depths by Karen Amanda Hooper. Forgetting Yesterday and Returning to Yesterday by Ava Wood. With Whom We Spend Our Lives by K.S. Thomas. Hidden Hearts by Gina Ferguson. The Devil's Daughter by Jill Cooper. Raindrops by C. Pat. Blood Surfer by Deborah Jess. Hearts Aligning by Miranda Hardy. Death the Sculptor by MCV Egan. And on the very end are books that I actually bought but I really, really want to read soon. And that is Fangirls 2, 3, 4, and 5 by Robbie Cox. And we have finally reached the last case. This top part is, of course, contemporary, like all the other top shelves. Forgive My Fins, Fins Are Forever, and Just for Fins by Tara Lynn Childs. This is actually not contemporary. It's mermaid, so it's technically fantasy, but they are pretty and they look like contemporaries. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. Geography of You and Me by Jennifer E. Smith. The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. This Is What Happy Looks Like by Jennifer E. Smith. Hello, Goodbye, and Everything in Between by Jennifer E. Smith. Windfall by Jennifer E. Smith. And You Are Here by Jennifer E. Smith. Love, Fortunes, and Other Disasters by Kimberly Carlius. The Selection, The Elite, The One, The Heir, and Happily Ever After by Kiera Cass. Technically, this isn't contemporary, it is dystopian, but it reads like a contemporary and they're pretty like the contemporary books. So they go with the contemporaries. Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. Finally, I have a mug of bookmarks and 2 book sleeves on the very end. So if you don't count my Pop Funkos, this is the start of my Harry Potter shrine that consists of a shelf and a half. So the Harry Potter books, you see there's a lot of stuff in them. Obviously, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I'm not going to pull out the books though because everybody knows what they look like. So I'm just going to point them out, and because there's a ton of stuff in front of the shelf, as you can see, like the little knickknacks, and I don't really feel like moving them out of the way. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows again. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows again in a limited edition cover change. Right here is where Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the original screenplay, goes. Tales of Beetle the Bard. A UK edition of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Hogwarts Journal. This is a Ravenclaw planner that I used my senior year of high school. Is a Slytherin crest that says Malfoy and Zabini on it, which my friend drew for me for my birthday a couple years ago. Here is the other part of my Harry Potter shrine. We're going to ignore this because it shouldn't even be there. Muggles and Magic. Harry, A History. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in paperback. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix in paperback. Very Good Lies by J.K. Rowling. This is a bookmark set, a metal bookmark set. These 2 are actually Christmas tree ornaments, but I just keep them on here because they're cute. Chamber of Secrets audiobook. A Prisoner of Azkaban audiobook. This is a cup that the Butterbeer came in from the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Orlando. I didn't want to pay, like, I think it's like $13 for the souvenir cup, so I just kept the plastic cup and washed it out because it says Wizarding World of Harry Potter on it. Inside it has 2 pens and a bookmark. And on the very end is an empty bottle of the pumpkin juice that you can get from the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. My friend got it, really didn't like it, and she rinsed out the bottle and gave it to me. So this one doesn't really have a genre to it. I mean, I guess you could call it fantasy, but it's mostly Twilight, and then there's some Fablehaven. I have this Fablehaven Book of Imagination, and it's kind of like an activity book as well as a preview of his new series. That came out earlier this year. But the reason I keep it is because on the back it is signed by him, because this is what he was signing at BookCon in 2016. So we have Fablehaven, Rise of the Evening Star, Grip of the Shadow Plague, Secrets of the Dragon Sanctuary, and Keys to the Demon Prison. And then we have my small Twilight collection because, unpopular opinion, I actually really like Twilight. We all know what they look like, so I'm not going to pull them out. I'm just going to point them out because there's a lot of different things to it. Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn, The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner, The Official Illustrated Guide, The Graphic Novel Volume 1, Director's Notebook, Nightlight, a Parody, the Complete Illustrated Movie Companion to Twilight, and the Complete Illustrated Movie Companion to New Moon. We have finally reached the final shelf. The final shelf. Thank God. Let's do this thing. Alright, again, I can't pull them out because this is really hard. So at the very, very end, I have 2 comics that were from Free Comic Book Day. A chapter sampler of Strange the Dreamer that is signed by Laini Taylor. I have Fruit Basket Ultimate Edition, Volume 1, which has the first and second editions in it. I have Wonder by R.J. Palacio. I keep it down here because it doesn't have a dust jacket, and I really hate books not having dust jackets. A little box of Post-it notes because I'm obsessed with Post-it notes for some reason. I have my TBR jar, and I have the last 3 wrapped books for the rest of the year. So October, November, and December. And that is the end. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video.